Hello and welcome back to the Great Patriotic War. Last time we did a lot. We went through the whole air turn, and this time we are going to try to get through the whole rest of the front. Bit ambitious maybe, but I think we could do it. And secondary to that, we're going to talk probably not so much this time, but a little bit more next time about preparing for Operation Typhoon, aka the Blizzard. You'll see it referred to as in some of the after-action reports. And Operation Typhoon is one of the keys to surviving as the Soviets. You have to inflict some losses on the Germans during the winter turns. And obviously we're here mid-September. We got to start thinking about where we want to try to push. Personally, I'm still kind of leaning towards the north. I feel like they're relatively weak up here. They've got a lot of brigades running around. So I think it's possible to push them back. Like even along here, they mostly have divisions. But in areas where they're just trying to hold the line, that's where they have the brigades. I'm a little concerned about some of these units in the back here. I don't know what they are. And I know that we have some motorized units down here, so that's a little concerning too. But overall, I think that the strategies will be try to build up a bit of a mechanized force here and, bring in some more infantry maybe. And then push down towards hopefully Pskov. That might be a little ambitious. But at least if we could rebuild this river line and make this a little bit tight down here and be able to bomb this rail line constantly, it would kind of make this position that they're trying to push for untenable, and it'll force them to relocate some troops. What I really want to do is at least push to this hex here in the winter months. That's one of my main goals. Push to this hex and get a line like that. Don't know if that's doable. The other area where Typhoon might be successful, quote unquote, is I was thinking maybe down here, because we've brought in so many troops, and if we could get them to survive long enough to get up to full combat prep, bring in some artillery. Yeah, maybe we can fight one of these divisions and encircle them. Maybe. That's a big if, though. The least likely successful place would be this area, because we're just going to be retreating for the next, 2 months probably. So by the time it's December and the snow starts to fly, I don't think we'll quite be ready. It's going to take a while to get everything out of this pocket, if we can get everything out of this pocket. So that's the plan. I think we'll actually start down there this turn, because it's very important that we focus a lot of our energy on kind of getting out of that pocket. And the rest of the line is kind of stable at this point. I mean, other than this area. But the far south is very unstable, so we want to fix that if we can. Now, what are some ways that we can prevent the complete collapse here? I think maybe our best bets are to just start shipping stuff north. Try to get it up to Kursk, because we kind of need to hold this line here. If we can get some units on this river, I'll feel a lot better about it. We only have some tank and mechanized forces that we're refitting, so that's not great. I've been thinking about putting a depot like here or something like that, because the Sumy depot is really not a great spot. Is this a rail yard? No, it's not. And I also, in order to support any sort of operation, we're going to need some airfields. So that's the other thing we had to start building is a bunch of airfields back here, and we probably need some level 2 ones as well. So maybe I'm still nervous about losing this line. I think if we built airfields back here, it'd be perfectly safe. And if we launch our attack kind of from the Belgrade-Vrozna axis, so kind of pointing this direction here, I think that could work. Maybe. I don't know. But enough chit-chat. Let's get to moving. Alright, so Rifle Division, you guys are pretty strong still. But I don't want you to die. So I think the 6th Army can probably hold on for one more turn in the city itself. We're starting to see some panzer divisions here and some Italians. We don't give a damn about the Italians, but the panzers are kind of scary. I wonder if we could sneak these guys over and back again. How many movement points? It's 6 to cross the river. I think it's 6. I guess it would be 7 because they had 13. I thought they had 12. Just wondering here. If I could cross the river, I could probably knock this guy back, get these guys a win, and maybe sneak back over, but I kind of want to do it. Hell yeah. Get wrecked, Italians. Think I can knock the other two back? No. That counts as a loss. Alright. Hold on. We can do this. I believe. Yes. Get some wins under our belt. That's what I like to see. Can I sneak back across the river now with this guy? Yes, I can. I love that. The Italians are going to be key to us getting guards infantry. Wonder how strong this guy is. Probably not too strong, honestly. This guy's got 40%. Let's knock this little bastard back. Ah. You hate to see it. Alright, hold on. We got this. Get out of here. This is the Rodina. Or the Rodina, depending on how you pronounce it. Why is this guy getting withdrawn? Where is he going? I guess I might as well use him. On turn 17. It's a few turns still. Is that across a river? It is. Let's just reinforce there. Right, you're unready. Alright, so everyone who's really messed up at this point has to get on trains and get the hell out of here. We're going to start marching men north, I think. So the 1st Airborne Corps, where are you? Let's start getting you out of here. I want to base them here. I want to try to get the airborne units up as far as I can as well. I'm marching these guys purely because Purely because I don't want to waste rail points just yet. And some of these guys can still, you know, walk. And they're also very small, so they're not going to make a huge... Oh, wrong airborne corps. Whatever. At least it's in range. Actually, I could move both these guys over to that other one. There's nobody under it. But now something like this has 6,000 men. This has 11,000 men. So I would like to get this one further north, if possible here. The rail yard is damaged still. That's very unfortunate. But like these two divisions here, if we could rail them up to the Kursk region, we could rail them all the way up here and still unload them. Or is this a level 2 rail yard? It's a level 1. I forget how much of a cost that saves you. It does save you just enough. Alright, so now these guys will be ready to rock and roll next turn. We're just trying to reposition as many guys in a single turn as we can. Alright, even if we go to a rail yard, it's going to be too late, I think. So let's just get them all the way up here, and we'll unload them next turn. It's fine. These guys are unready, so let's start marching them back this way, put them on refit, and give them to the 37th Army. Kind of our refit army in this region. Who's the leader of this? He actually has pretty good admin, so I'll leave him there. Or, not great admin, but it could be worse. So stick those two on refit. Maybe they'll get enough to be useful eventually. This area is pretty not good. The 50th Army, I don't even know what he has under him right now. Not much. And this is on refit, but there's no point in having it on refit because it's not going to get anything there. Is this still strong? Yes. Relatively. Alright, how damaged are these guys? Pretty damaged. Oof. Pretty much 50% strength. And pretty low morale as well. Alright, let's get you guys back up to here. Give them to the 50th Army. Give you over to the 50th Army as well, because you're unready. So let's get you back up behind this river line here. My fear is that we just don't have any troops to put into that gap now. So this thing is ready technically, but don't think it would face against the onslaught that's on the way here. We really just gotta cut and run. The question is, do we want to even leave a holding force, or do we just want to bail this turn? I don't know. I don't want to lose all these nice units. Sad thing is, like, we haven't even gotten a chance to fight, really. I think we're gonna knock this guy back here. What? A hold. I was not expecting that. Alright. That's a shame. Let's hit him again. What? There are 5,000 guys. You kidding me? You can't knock that back? Useless. And I'm gonna drive the tanks out of there, I think. I'm not feeling too good about the 6th Army's position right now. Take you off. I just want something else over here to defend our rail line. While we bail out. Like, they're useful. This guy's not so useful where he is. Is there a way I can shorten it? So I have to cover 3 hexes either way here. Doesn't matter if it's up here or down here, but at least if it's down here, it's completely covered. So let's retreat 1 hex. This is on refit, so let's just get it on a train and get it out of here. This will go over to the Airborne Corps. And these guys are not going to get any sort of supply or reinforcement this turn. Not trying to do that, I'm just trying to get them out of danger. Alright, so some of these tank forces here, they don't need to be here anymore. Just trying to build up a little bit of mass on the northern side here. But I also want to send some just kind of some sort of force over to the Mariupol region, because that's going to be under threat soon enough. And we also have to worry about this breakout still, so we do want to kind of rotate our men out of there. Oh, but it is so tempting to just cross the river real quick and pop this guy. Oh, you really held? There's the river. Huh. Whatever. Alright, I'm going to rotate this unit over here. Probably have to reassign him. Same with that. Not too scared about the Italians or Hungarians, whatever the hell that is. I guess it was a little bit bigger of a unit, but still a shame that you can't break through that. Any of these ready to go? Wow, this anti-tank brigade is actually pretty strong now. Where's their tanks? Where'd they go? Didn't they have a shitload of tanks here, like, not too long ago? That's scary. Where the hell did they go? Unless this is a tank. Might be. Don't think that is. I mean, I see that one tank division, or not even division, a brigade there. That's really unsettling. I could have sworn there was like 3 or 4 tanks there earlier. Alright, well, that's okay. We can just drive this thing up here. It can actually make it all the way. It's going to lose all of its combat prep, but it could actually make it all the way to the front lines. Let's do that. Give it to the 42nd Army. Well, I'm not going to give it to anyone yet. I think there might be reorganization with the armies that I need to do. Oh, I don't know if I could do this all in one video. There's so much to do. This is probably the most movement I'm going to have to do for a long time. This big retreat. Unready. These guys are not in good shape here. Okay. Okay. That's not good. Let's try to do something like this, maybe? Just in case they use a deliberate attack for some reason. Deliberate attack. Unlike my speaking. 38th Army still has this guy, but you can go to the 6th Army. Let's just make sure everything here is on the 6th Army. I don't need anything. He's on the 5th Army. Twenty-sixth Army. Well, this is on a train already, so that's good. We could just rail this out of here. Let's rail it to Sumi, I guess, so at least we can get it off the train there. Could march it all the way up to the front. That's good. There's just a lot of gaps here. They could drive through easily. I know I have somewhat of a zone control, but they're just going to bash me in and then zoom on by. But if I can hold this river line open, or not river line, rail line open, at least we can retreat straight back. Problem is, some of these units are pretty far from the rail. I think I could probably safely remove these guys to the rear. Where do I want to send them? Because the right flank is actually kind of strong relative to the middle. The middle's where it's weakest and it's hardest to reinforce. So I might do that. I put them in the middle. Yeah, just trying to throw some units in front. I wish I had some rail yards here that weren't doing another job. I don't need them this turn anyways, so I'm just going to move them for now. Alright, now this stack of tanks has not really been blooded yet. I think they could probably just drive over here. There we go. This is one of those situations where you're worried about getting double tapped here. So if I were to put my guy in the swamp hex, I believe the retreat path would be back into this clear hex, because that would be the lowest amount of movement points. And if that happened, I would absolutely die. And kind of the same logic applies to this unit. He could actually get obliterated here. I don't know if they have mechanized forces supporting them. I kind of have to assume that they do, because they usually do. So, a little worried about this. But I also need to hold this line. You know, I got to keep the rail open. Can't let them through. Let's see what we can do. Maybe, just maybe, we can hold it. Wait, can this actually capture? Oh my god, that's amazing. I understand that these guys are all kind of sacrificial lambs, but I do want them to actually do their job and hold the line. Okay, so this is going to be the next line here. So I want them to be in position already, just in case. And I'm going to give him to the 50th Army. I think the 50th Army might have to go to the Bryansk front, or maybe the Central Front, depending on who has room. Central Front does not have room. I didn't think it did. Does Bryansk? No, it's actually overstacked right now. So maybe he'll have to go to the Southwestern Front still. Southwestern Front does have a little bit of room. Does the Southern Front? No, they're fully stacked up. I started involving the yellow guys last time, or lime green, whatever that color is. The North Caucasus military district. But I think their commander is kind of a dum-dum, so don't necessarily want to give a ton of stuff to him. Sorry, I'm jumping around here, just buying time while my brain catches up for what we've been doing here. That's why I can't play RTSs, I'm too stupid. This game can be like a puzzle sometimes. It's like, what is the best order to do things in? Don't like this area here. Let's just split the stack. They should be fine now. Get off refit. What are you doing? You're not going to get tanks in over here. Well, I'm going to reassign some units here. Most likely. I do have something on the Bryansk front here, the 5th Cavalry Corps. It looks like the 4th Army as well. I think maybe the 4th Army can get reassigned to The Southwestern Front again. I know they're originally from the Southwestern Front. At the end of July 1941, the Fourth Army began to dissolve. Yeah, so did the rest of the Soviet Union. That's not saying a lot. Fourth Army's staff was absorbed into the general staff of the Central Front, and the troops were absorbed into other armies. At the end of September 41, the Fourth Army was reformed, retaining its independent status until December. It's interesting that where these guys are now basically in the Southern Front compared to their historical place. I think the Fourth Army was one of the ones that we had to extract from a pocket. That's how they ended up down here. I think they were in the Minsk pocket even. Oh, that's cool. I never noticed that. If you mouse over their pictures, you see that? If you mouse over their pictures, it tells you their average stats. So it can help you find the not good ones, like this guy. Interesting. I never knew that. I mean, I don't care. He's just a corps commander, but that's cool. What I like about this guy, 7 morale, 7 admin. That's a great set of stats here. And he's not great on his infantry and mech stats, but just the administration side of things. The morale and admin makes up for that. He's got very good stats there. As opposed to this guy who's absolutely insanely useless. If I had 10 command points, I would instantly replace him. This guy is going to be next. First replacement next turn, I think. So 12th Army, your time is up. I'll write it down. Especially because he might end up being an important player in the events to come here. I'm trying to make the 50th Army a little bit more important. So we'll have to see what happens there. This guy's initiative is so low. So low. Alright. I feel like I'm running out of steam here. I'm just staring at things I've already looked at. We've gotten a lot out of the pocket. I mean, we've got... Let's see, how many divisions did we get out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 divisions out of the pocket so far. And this guy could get out of the pocket as well. Drive all the way up here. Just looking for people I can get out of there. This rifle division is actually ready to fight, and I do need some frontline units, so they're going to fight. Where's the weak spot? This is a really weak hex because they're not really ready to fight. Let's walk them back a hex. Get them behind the river at least. And then we will walk this guy forward. So he's ready to fight, even though he's only throwing up a 2. A 1 on defense. So he's still not good. I can march you over. I could give him some tanks, but he doesn't really need tanks. That's not going to help. I feel like I need another army over here. I now have so many units, I need an army commander. So I've got a couple cav corps doing a lot of work, but I need an army. Who is low? 26th Army could just come over there. Or the 5th or 38th. Well, there's a lot of stuff on the 5th still. Maybe a 38th Army. How bad is he? Oh, he's not bad. Not that bad. 4.2. That's good for our commanders. This guy's still awful. You know, when you have a guy like this, like, he's not really good at anything. What do you even do with that? You got to replace him at some point, but at least he's friends with Stalin. That's about the best thing you can say about this guy. And he's got an interesting stash. I mean, that is the prototypical Soviet stash right there. Trying to read his own orders, probably like, "Comrade, these don't make sense." "Well, General, you wrote them." "It says hold the line, but yet you move all of my troops." "This is true, General." Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of him. It's just, he's so comical. Comical looking, I should say. To me. Alright, so the 38th Army will get some of this stuff assigned to it. This will be reassigned to the 5th Army, I guess. What the hell? Oh, I would love to replace you. Unfortunately, I don't have the points. Okay. Yes, I knew this turn. I knew these actions were going to be taxing, but not as taxing as it would be to actually have to run away from a bunch of Axis forces approaching your front lines with no hope of stopping them. I don't love having this open, so I think I will march this guy up to the front. I like pushing them back, though. That makes the front line a lot shorter. Could move these guys here. It's not a bad spot. Or I can move the stronger of the two. Well, they're both 0 for readiness. That's the problem. Well, I think one of them, at least, we could put here and refit, just to get him back in action. And then the other one we could stick into a stack, I guess. He's just really tired because he's done a lot of losing. A lot of fighting and a lot of losing. I really want to get some guards, rifles and stuff, but it's so difficult to win battles and then not lose on the next turn. I guess we'll stick him there. I don't know. He's unready now. Alright, screw it. We'll just drive him back here. He's just too exhausted. He needs some turns off. Let's move the 5th Cav Corps off this hex. I just need to get some wins under my belt. That'll make me feel better. Alright, at least we're starting to get some more mass down here. That part makes me feel good. I think I need another army up here too. Where all my good commanders went. Uh, 26th Army. I could give this over to the 50th Army and these over to the 5th Army? Where's the 5th Army? He's already up at 20 though. And the 6th Army is fully stacked as well. I do have to keep them there just until the full retreat happens. This can't get on a train yet, so that's why it's going to have to stay there. Alright, whatever. I guess we'll leave it like that. Not good. I'm really scared that this panzer group is going to, or this panzer brigade is just going to cross the river and immediately take out our rail. If that happens, we have to find a way to push them back. We've got enough troops here. We can knock them back and then retreat everything. I just hope there's not like 2 divisions right behind him. That would be scary. Oh boy. Things routed. I don't know why this didn't rally. The 43rd Army really stupid or something? He's not great. He's not great. Not great at all. This pocket is just so tricky to... I'm calling it a pocket because I know it's going to be a pocket relatively soon, but if I can avoid having it be a pocket, that would be amazing. When you zoom out, it looks really, really scary. Let me just turn off the logistics. See, when you zoom this out, you've got this nasty red blotch up here, and then I mean, at least we have a little bit of a wall built here so that we can slow them down. But yeah, it looks pretty scary. And the fact that these divisions here are just so ready to fight us, so strong. That's the really tricky part of this campaign, is being able to fight their infantry at some point is going to be critical. Like I have to figure out what it takes to knock back an infantry division. How many infantry units on our side do we need? Well, we'll see. But that's for next time. Till then, see ya.